Hello there. Good morning. As you can see, I'm still playing with the camera. There we go. Good morning. Let's start out by rolling our shoulders. I'm keeping in mind that you have been doing a lot of yard work, and also that you will be joining me tonight for Pilates. So today is more about stretching than strengthening. Of course, we will do some strengthening and movement of that kind, but so I want to stretch those muscles that you have been using for yard work. I assume you've been going to the beach. How nice. So let's take our legs out and shake it out. And also getting some of the things that personally I know you both like. I have balls today. One is harder and one is more squishy. So we'll use those as well. So let's take and inhale and exhale, stretching. And just taking your time. Let's not stretch too far at fast first. Remember, keeping the belly pulled in. I think you can hear me. I'm talking a little soft, but I don't need to. And then allow your shoulders to roll back, down your back as you lengthen through your spine. And again, just finding a gentle stretch. We don't need to go to the deepest part of our stretch where we know we can go. We're just sort of waking up the body slowly. Keep pulling the belly back. Keep reaching the spine forward over that hot pipe imaginary pipe we have there. Let's bring our hands back along our mat, roll our shoulders back, stack the vertebrae, zipping, zipping, zipping. And good. Inhale. Exhale, hands down by our hips and lifting, just as if we're lifting, right? Pressing into our hands, lifting our heart, lengthening our spine. Good. Holding here. We'll keep our right hand down. Left hand comes up and over. Keep pressing both sit bones down. I like the feet to be together, the knees together. You can bend the knees a little if you find that your feet and your knees want to start turning out. Takes that muscle action of the inner thighs and the thighs to keep the knees together. Knees, toes pointing up. Bring the knees back towards you. Open up here. Open up that left shoulder. Keep zipping. And then come on down. Reach up. So I hope you all enjoyed the beautiful day we had yesterday. At some point, maybe you got outside. Maybe business is slowing down, maybe not. And coming back. Good. Rolling the shoulders back and down, keeping them back and down. Inhale and exhale. Good. Hands down by our side. Let's try that staff pose again. Feel that we're lengthening from the tailbone right through the crown of the head, shoulders back. Zip in the core. Cinch the waist with that corset. And then release. Good. Let's take the right leg, bring it back. And the left leg is active, toes pointing up. We're going to watch that leg and make sure it doesn't just sort of hang out there. It takes that muscle work to keep it pointing up. Pull the belly back and curl over. Right, so stay there. If we had a hot pipe here, we don't want to just fold over. We want to scoop the belly back and curl over and stretch through the back. Let's roll our shoulders back. So that's the scooping is the Pilates. So I use a lot of Pilates in my yoga classes. And then let's stack the vertebrae. And that's also a Pilates thing. So you already know a lot of Pilates. Roll our shoulders back. This time, I'd like us to lengthen forward. So now the hot pipe's not there. So maybe we put our belly down first and then lengthen, but not curl. Not even curl a little. Because when we lengthen, we're feeling that stretch much sooner. Lift the heart, shoulders back, and just enjoy that stretch. Make sure the toes coming back towards you. If it's too much, go ahead and bend that knee a little bit. So I know one of you has a lot tighter hamstrings than the other, but not as tight as it used to be. So this one's for you. And then this going down either way, right? We should be feeling it maybe around the hips and the back. So this is a beautiful back of the body stretch. So wherever you feel that stretch, just breathe into it. And then coming back. Good. Let's bring both legs forward, shake it out a little, take the other side. So this foot can be anywhere along this leg, right? The important thing is this leg stays active and the sit bones stay down. So let's first get away from that hot pipe, scoop back, but reach over. We have to reach with the spine. And now with the shoulders probably came up around our ears, let's roll them back. Lengthen the spine, keep pulling the belly back, keep breathing. Check out that right leg, make sure the toes are coming back towards the shin, and make sure toes, knees are facing the ceiling. Always breathing into your stretches. Stacking the vertebrae. And good. Now, right, same thing. Watch that foot. I know mine keeps wanting to go out like this if I relax it. So we have to activate it. And then lengthen forward as if we're trying to put our belly down, lower part of our belly down first. Lead with the heart, long straight back. So it looks like this from the side. Instead of curling over, right, we're lengthening over with a nice straight spine, shoulders back. Keep the chin lifted, keep the heart lifted. Beautiful. And we're stretching more towards this leg, maybe turning a little towards that leg. But turning might make us lower down more through that part, right? So maybe we just take it forward. Keep breathing. This side feeling very different than the other side, and then coming back. Good. And bring both legs out, shake it out. Nice. Let's take both feet together and just rock side to side. Good. Finding those sit bones, pulling up through the pelvic floor. Let's do the same kind of stretches with our spine, right? First, we're going to scoop the belly back like we're hollowing out that whole area, and then curl over, right? Try to keep the bottoms of the feet together, even if that means your feet are here or here. We're looking for a stretch somewhere, right? And sometimes you might get more of a stretch with your feet out further or closer together. So keep scooping the belly back. And then roll the shoulders back. Maybe that allows us to get a little more stretch through our neck, through our spine. And let's go ahead and stack the vertebrae. coming up. Beautiful. Now straight spine. You can use those hands to help us, but really it's just about lengthening. Let's see if we can put our belly down first. The belly has nowhere to touch now, but that's okay. Shoulders back, lengthen. Maybe use the hands a little bit, but not too tight. Once you get a little further, a little longer in the spine, go ahead and release the hands a little bit. It's just a subtle, gentle stretch. Pull the belly in, come back. Once again, we'll lengthen those legs out. Shake it out. Good, we'll take our feet flat and knees side to side. And get rid of that half pipe. We can see and hear you. Good morning. Hello, hello. Oh, it's so nice to be with you today. Good. Once again, we'll take our legs out. Inhale here. Exhale. Hands right next to our side. Let's take that staff pose one more time. This staff pose is more about lengthening the spine than pressing into the hands. But let's keep our shoulders back. Lift our heart. Perhaps lift our chin a little. Legs are active and together. Good. And then release. We're going to take one more stretch forward. Pull the belly back. Reach forward. This time reaching like somebody's pulling your arms. See if you can roll your shoulders back away from that a little bit and keep scooping the belly back, reaching. Good. Pull the belly in tighter. Let's take ourselves to the left a little bit of a twist. You can unlock the knees here if they locked up at all. Keep breathing. Pull the belly in tighter. Let's reach our arms back up. Lengthen. Pull the belly in tighter. Let's come here to the other side. And then come back to the center, rolling up. Let's take our right foot and bend it in somewhere along this leg. Keep that right foot flat and take a twist. Take a twist and lengthen at the same time. Lift the heart, shoulders back. Breathe. Smile. You can get into your own space here, your own mat. Feeling the pose from the inside out. Coming back to the center, let's cross this leg over. Make sure it's on the thigh, not on the knee, and hold here for a stretch. Readjust those sit bones. Make sure this toe is coming back towards you. Right, so we're active back leg, and we don't want too much weight on the knee. We don't want to feel as if it's hyperextended or feel too much stretch behind there. This focus is the stretch through here, even subtle. Let's go ahead and give our foot a little massage. I think you have to teach each other how to give each other a massage during this time. Things will never be the same. Right? I was overdue for a massage. I think you were too, Maureen. And here we go. All right, so let's take our hands here. Roll that front foot back, and then continue getting a stretch here. Right, so we're on our back hands, but I'd like you to lengthen the spine. Try to find those hip bones again. Feel that stretch through the right hip. This is a version of the pigeon. Lifting, lengthening, breathing. And then lengthening. Good. Let's take it to the other side. Placing the ankle on the thigh and getting the form, right? The length. Check your right leg. Mine wants to hang out like that. Bring the toes back. And then just finding somewhere where you're feeling tight and just release. You know, some of the poses that we do in the beginning of class are very subtle for stretches. Our body is still warming up. Let's give ourselves a little massage through this foot. And keep going with that. Wonderful allergies. Yesterday I really felt it. That's because I had flowers in here and I realized that even daffodils, if they're in my house, they permeate the house. So much better today. Daffodils are back outside. All right, let's hold here and take our hands behind. We're going to slide this front foot back and then lengthen. See if we can find our sit bones, even if we adjust either leg, right? Lengthen to find a stretch in and around the hip or wherever you have the tightness. This right foot is flat. Try to line up the right foot, knee, hip, and lengthen and breathe. Strong core. And then nice and easy, lower down. I think we forgot to do a twist on this side. Let's go ahead and take this and take a twist. Take a lengthen, I should say. Twist and lengthen. Coming back to the center. Good. Let's fling our legs back. Fling them. Coming to all fours. Taking our cat and cow. Taking your time with the cat and cow so that we can really sort of release all the muscles around the spine, maybe through the hips, through the shoulders. We feel stretch in the core or chest, back. Spend a little extra time in that area. Being cognizant of our wrists, our neck. Holding here, reaching our hands forward, middle finger to the tip of the mat, and send our hips back wherever they go. They don't have to go all the way back, but let's find where we feel beautiful stretch. Maybe the whole body feels as if it's stretching. Maybe it's just focused on the hips or the back or legs or arms, but just breathe and release. Coming forward onto our forearms, we're going to slide our left arm under and pulling gently back to get a stretch through the back of the shoulder and anywhere back of the body. Keep breathing into wherever you feel tightness. Feel free to let the head come down, but we're not putting a lot of weight on the head. And just adjusting. Remember, every pose can be adjusted to be just right for what you need. Lots of different variations. We're going to take the right arm under now. Pulling back, stretching, breathing. And sliding out. Good. We'll take ourselves to all fours. Roll those shoulders wide. Rolling our toes under, taking ourselves to our first down dog and pedaling a little bit here. Getting that straight spine, as straight of a V as you can. Sending the tailbone, sit bones high. Maybe tilting the pelvis a little, feeling a little more stretch through the hamstrings. We're bending our knees, looking towards the front of the mat and walking into a forward fold and hold here, stretching, releasing. Let the head just hang, keeping the belly tight, strong through the core. We'll go ahead and hold on to our elbows here, get a little more stretch, maybe through the upper back, maybe through the hamstrings. Remember to keep the knees unlocked, but they can be straight. Letting our arms float down to the mat and then curling up again, a Pilates thing, right? Slowly. Good. Rolling our shoulders. Mountain pose. Rolling forward and back on our feet. And we'll take a sun salutation. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Holding, breathing. Closing your eyes if you like for a breath or two. So let's do 3 more standing sun salutations. Take your time in each pose. Really feel every part of the pose, nice and slow. And when you're ready, beautiful. And we'll take ourselves to the front of the mat. And stepping back with the right leg for our crescent pose. I was going to say warrior 1 because it can be a warrior 1. Let's keep our hips, shoulders, knee, and heel and toes lined up. So we don't want that heel coming in like this. We want straight back, straight leg here if you can, as straight as you can have it, which means this leg will be more parallel, the thigh will be more parallel with the mat, right? Make sure this knee is above the ankle, and let's take ourselves here open up, breathe, stretch. High lunge, shoulders stay back, keep breathing. And then let's press through that front foot coming up. Little flow here and down. Take our time. Reach, open, and exhale down. Nice. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale. Really feel every part of the flow. One more time. Press. You should be able to wiggle those front toes. We'll bring our hands to heart center. Good. And then using our hands on our thigh, let's step our back foot halfway forward. We're planning on pyramid. So keeping the heel, toe, knee, and hip lined up together. You can take your feet wider to help with balance if you'd like. Let's bring our arms up, interlace our fingers, press, engage the core. See if we can press our roots deeper here. This requires a lot of balance. And now we'll take our hands behind, placing them right along, just relaxing our hands, placing them right on our hips or the fleshy part of our buttocks, perhaps, right? Depends on how long our arms are. See if you can bring the palms together. If not, that's okay. I'd like you to feel a stretch here through the arms and chest if you can. And so open up, lift the heart, and also through the legs, right? So let's wiggle those toes, make sure we're not gripping with the toes, but let them lower them down. And then straight spine here. So we're hinging at the hips, send the tailbone, sit bones back. And then stopping when you feel that stretch. So both legs are straight, both knees are soft, and then hold and breathe. Engaging the core. Let me show you from the side. Right, so we're here, and then leading with the heart, straight spine. Pull the belly in. Let's come on up. Now we're going to pull the belly in and then curl forward. Let the head drop. Feel free to adjust the legs whenever you need to. Adjust the feet. Let your head drop here. If you'd like, lifting the arms, not forcing anything. Just lift wherever feels all right for you. Looking for gentle stretches or deep stretches, but just breathe into it. Keep that core engaged. Let's lower our hands back down, press into our feet, come back up. Engaging the core, let's reach our knuckles towards the floor. Send our hips forward, open up here. Beautiful. Hip flexor opener as well on the right side. Need to really stretch the thighs, the hip flexors from sitting so much. Pull the belly in. And let's come back to the front of the mat. Rolling our shoulders, sun salutation. Nice. Good. Let's take a high lunge here on the left, bringing that leg back. So I'll just show you from the side here too, right? So we want this leg to be straight once we get it out there and everything's lined up. Don't let that heel fall in because this is what will happen with the hip. We want our hip straight on. And then the front knee over the ankle, but you can adjust wider so that this thigh comes a little lower to the floor, right? So high lunge, or any part of, so this is just a deeper part of the pose, but if you're here, that's okay, right? Adjusting as needed. Let's take this flow. Press, use the core, lower. Press, remember it's up and down, lower. Keep tethered through that plumb line. Lift and lower. Good. Let's go 3 more. Inhale, get into your flow. Exhale, use your breath. Inhale, Exhale, right? It's down and up, not forward and back. Inhale. We'll do one more. Good. Let's go ahead, take our hands here and step that back foot further forward, straightening both legs. Pyramid. Preparing for pyramid, bringing our arms up, interlace our fingers, pressing our palms to the ceiling. Feel free to adjust your feet whenever you need to. We'll take ourselves back a little bit, shoulders relaxed back, lift the heart. Always keeping that corset laced up. And bringing our hands behind, interlace our fingers. Pull the belly in. First, we start with that straight spine. So we're going to hinge our hips, only bending here, not here, right? Hinge the hips and then lengthen down. Stopping when you feel that stretch. Start with a gentle stretch. Then you can always press the sit bones, tailbone back further. Always lift the heart a little more and take it an inch or two lower. Cinch in the waist, lengthen. Keeping your head lifted a little can be helpful. Press into our roots, rising up. And let's go ahead. This time we will start with the core, so pull the belly in. Let's go ahead and curl down. Letting our head drop, lifting our arms if that feels okay. Lowering our hands to our hips, pressing up. Good. And let's step forward. I'm just going to move my mat back because it looks like my head's almost being cut off when I come to the front of my mat. All right, so let's go ahead and take that sun salutation. So bringing our arms up, arms and hands wide, shoulders wide, reaching, lengthening. Good. So I'm going to take, we're practicing half of cow face, taking our right hand behind and then taking our left arm behind, right? So trying to get our fingers together, but again, don't force it, holding here. And in the future, we can probably start using more props. And I can drop some props over to you, or plots. We can plot this. And so just kind of relaxing here as you can. One side is going to feel different than the other. Lift the chin, lengthen the spine. I know you have the balls, so I have blocks and I have bands. Make sure they're washed good and drop them on your doorstep, but we'll talk about that. Let's nice and easy, just release your hands here, right? Maybe wiggle the fingers, nice and easy, lowering our arms, reaching and reaching. Let's take the left hand behind, like you're giving yourself a pat on the back, and then the right hand comes behind, facing outward, and then see where you can reach on this side. Again, don't force it, it'll come. And if we've had any issues with our shoulders, this can be very challenging. Let's hold here and stretch and lift. Eventually we want the elbows reaching in the opposite directions. And so I started talking about the props. Like if we have a band, we can have it between our hands and start walking our hands closer together. Let's go ahead and lift the heart, lift the chin here. And nice and easy, just release, wiggle the fingers, nice and easy, lowering, reaching in opposite directions. And come on down. Good. Let's roll our shoulders back and down. So on my left side, I felt like I was cutting off circulation, and all of a sudden the blood started flowing again, right? That side is much more challenging for me. I can't reach my fingers together. So anything that we do, if we do it more frequently, we get better at it. Okay, we don't do that one too much. But we're going to hopefully do it again. If we have time, when we're seated, we'll do the legs, cow face, and the arms. So here we are. Let's go ahead and take a sun salutation, right? And take our time with it. And then we'll come up and meet in mountain pose. I know you both are getting really good at these sun salutations, really getting inside, feeling from the inside out. Nice. All right, let's spend 3 breaths. Lovely deep breaths in our mountain. Just picturing all the internal organs working to keep us strong and healthy, the blood circulating through our veins, the energy chakras all the way, the nadis from our feet to our head to our fingers, and the chakras in our spine. Everything working, everything moving. And then bringing our hands to heart center. Beautiful. We could spend a lot more time there, can't we? Let's go ahead and plan for our balance pose. We're just doing a tree today. So take your tree wherever you feel comfortable, as deep or as relaxed as you like. We'll take it on the right side. Remember, pressing into the left foot, straighten that left leg, engage and lengthen the spine, and go ahead and breathe deeply, thinking about the bottom of the left foot, but also all those energy pathways working through our bodies. Let's move our arms here, perhaps rotating the wrists, maybe wiggle our fingers, letting our branches flow. Perhaps turning in our balance, right? If we change where we're looking, give us something different to look at. Bringing our hands back to heart center and mountain. And we'll take that tree on the other side. Pressing into the right foot to lengthen the right leg. Perhaps opening up here a little more. And zipping up. Lift the heart. And growing our branches on this side, flowing. Our tree is swimming. Maybe taking a little twist and twist. Bringing our hands back to heart center. Good. And lowering down. Finding our mountain. Let's get 3 deep breaths in our mountain. Let's take a sun salutation. This time we're making our way down to the mat. So it's a full sun salutation. Pulling the belly in. Lengthen. Folding hands down to the mat and taking a plank here. So lengthen in our plank. Strong. Shoulders going wide. And then lowering our knees. Sending our hips back. Let's really scoop in the belly here. Perhaps allowing us a nice stretch through the low back. And then we'll come forward and have a seat. So we're going to use a ball. So feet flat here. And let's take the ball and tuck it right under, right? So holding here, reaching our arms forward. A little bit of core work. So let's press into the ball and then lengthen up. So here on my sit bones, and then rolling off the sit bones, press into the ball and coming up. Good. Rolling back and coming up. One more time. Keep the knees and feet together and coming up. You got it. Good. Let's lower our legs, crossing over. And you can still keep that ball. Sometimes it's helpful, right? It helps us to start the lengthening in the spine right from the tailbone. We don't want the tailbone down here. We want the sit bones down. And so we'll take the left leg out, and the right leg cross over. Let's do our double pigeon. This is for you, Pat. Holding, lengthening. Let's flex the feet. Lengthening the spine. Feel free to use the ball between the foot and the knee. But if you feel okay here, you can keep it just like that. Let's cinch in the waist, lengthen shoulders back. Adjusting. If you're not feeling enough, right, you can adjust the ankle more over the knee or less to find where you can find that stretch, which I know it's hard for you, Pat. Keep lengthening, letting your body just release into the stretch wherever you're feeling it. Maybe zip up the core a little more, lift the heart, lengthen the spine, lift the chin, shoulders back. Right, may allow you more stretch somewhere in the body. Good. Just release into it. Now, we're going to slide our knees so they're in line with each other, going for our cow face, right? So the legs can be here, getting the knees over one another, or any part of, right? So you can be here, or you can take your feet and tuck them in, right? If that feels better. And eventually here, or if you can get there now, right? And then try to find your sit bones. Placing both sit bones down equally, even though this leg is lifted. Now we're ready for cow face. So we've got the right leg over. We're going to bring the left arm up. Bring that hand behind and right arm behind. And then open and breathe. Reaching those fingers towards each other. Lengthen, pulling up through the pelvic floor. Let's see if we can get strong through the core and breathe. Smile. Smile can help here. Cow face. Don't you love cows? Engaging the core, right? Lengthening up a little more. Taking 3 more breaths here if you can. Perhaps we allow ourselves to get a little closer and then realign, lengthen. feeling the pose from the inside out. Sometimes we have to have a talk with ourselves, with our brain, right? Let's nice and easy, relax, maybe wiggle the fingers and let that circulation come back, shake it out. And then untying this pretzel and shake those legs out. Good. Let's take ourselves to the other side. So our left ankle on our right thigh and right leg comes under, and finding that beautiful double pigeon here. Getting better at it, right? We do so many different things that eventually we'll be so much better at everything, but it takes time. If we did pigeon, double pigeon every single time, we'd all be as good as Pat. Maybe. Everybody's different. Try to flex those feet. Keep length in the spine. Just breathe into wherever you feel that tightness. Anytime we hold a pose for any length of time, we want to sort of relax in it. Not relax where we're just hanging out, but relax in the length, in where we feel the stretch, and visualize those muscles releasing. Beautiful stretch wherever we are in the pose. Make it so it's right for you. And then kind of release a little. Let's take our cow face here, so lining up those knees together and allowing the shins to be either parallel or tucking the feet back in, and then finding the sit bones, lengthening, breathing. Beautiful stretch through the hip or wherever you're feeling it. The hips hold so much. And then let's take cow face with the arms. So we'll take the right arm up. Take the right arm behind. Keep length in the spine. And the left hand comes behind. Lifting the chin. Reaching the right arm. Right elbow higher, left elbow lower if you can. Zipping, stretching. Any little adjustments, just making sure you're breathing, keeping the core engaged. And then nice and easy, allow that circulation to come back, releasing the legs. Shaking the legs out. So if you still have the ball behind, we're going to take and place the ball sort of between the shoulder blades. Feet are flat and then rolling down. So the ball is between our shoulder blades, bringing our feet back, and then arching our back over, being careful of the neck. And if you can come all the way over and gently put the head down behind, that's fine. Also, we're going to open our arms out in a T. Okay? Keeping strong through the core and adjusting the ball if it doesn't feel right. Right? So maybe it looks like this, and opening up the heart, opening up the front body. Maybe you can adjust a little. If the head's coming down to the floor, go ahead and just not too much weight on the head. If the head is not coming down to the floor, you can support it. We don't want the head to just hang and just stretch the neck. You can support it with your hands back here. And let's get several breaths here. Opening up with the arms. Perhaps the arms can come overhead. Maybe feeling a stretch through the front body, but also staying laced up gently. Everybody is different, so treat yours with respect, what feels good. Always breathing into those tight areas, smiling, relaxing the facial muscles, right? And then engaging the core, we'll lower our arms. And let's go ahead and roll off. Use the core first, rolling off. Okay? Continue using the ball. We're going to walk back and take a supported bridge. And again, adjust. I think the ball, I don't know if you can see, but I don't want you to look to the side. Of course, you'd be looking forward. Mine is a little too high, so I'm going to adjust it so it's underneath the hips. Now it may be a little too low. You can adjust, right? And just enjoy the bridge pose. You both are pros at this, right? So supported bridge. In our supported bridge, we want to make sure that our shoulders and feet are taking the weight. Let's bring our feet and knees together and just relax here. Remembering you can always make an adjustment. Let's get 3 breaths here. So now let's take and lift our hips. So now we're in a bridge pose without the support of the ball. Shoulders and feet taking the weight. Maybe the arms are pressing gently. We want to make sure our chin is not on our chest, but let's lift our heart higher. Lengthen through the thighs. Keep the knees together as best you can. Breathe. 1 big inhale and exhale. And then once again, lower down to the supported bridge. If the ball moved at all, you can rearrange it. Now let's lengthen our legs out here. Front of the body, stretch, gentle through the hip flexors, the front belly area, the front of the legs perhaps. And let's activate these legs so the knees, hips, and feet are all in alignment. Sometimes our legs want to just hang out. We're going to let them do that in a minute. Shoulders still taking the weight gently. Sliding our feet back. Pull the belly in. Let's take our right leg up. Stretch it out. I want you to really stretch the back of the leg here. So activate all those muscles. We're going to turn the foot out and turn it back, but it's straight on. The toes are coming back towards your shin. Press the heel to the ceiling. And then lower down. Let's take our left leg, reach it up, pressing, lengthening the back of the leg. Toes coming towards the shin. Let's take the leg out and then come back in. Keep pressing, keep breathing wherever you feel you need to send the breath, and then lower down. Good. We're going to pull our belly in, lift the right knee, lift the left, and then go ahead and lengthen. Legs up the wall without the wall, but I do recommend that you try this with the legs up the wall with actual wall, just holding your legs there for a little bit. Always breathing into our poses. Slowly bringing the feet down one at a time. Once again, lengthening, and this time allowing the feet to fall out, allowing yourself to just sort of relax in this open body position. And then when you're ready, bringing the feet back, let's come into an unsupported bridge, sending the hips up, lengthen the thighs, lengthen from the heart right through the knees. And then releasing the ball and rolling down from the top of the spine. Tailbone comes down last. Let's hug our legs in. Lifting our head and shoulders, rolling around. Getting that beautiful massage, acupressure through and around the back and the hips. And here's where we'll prepare for our Shavasana. So if you'd like one more twist or stretch or pose, please do that. Sometimes it's nice to get this stretch here, a twist, release through the spine, perhaps the hips. I know when I do this twist, I find sometimes that my spine releases like I'm at the chiropractor, and I love it. Preparing for your Shavasana. And feel free to stay there when I ask you to come to seated. You don't have to. It's your house. It's your yoga. So breathing deeply and slowly. Let's follow the breath. Allow it to go to every part of those areas we were thinking about earlier. The energy pathways from our toes to our fingertips. The chakras from the tailbone right through the top of the head. Each breath touching each part of our inner bodies, our inner souls. Slowly and deeply, each breath helping us to release our spirit, release any tightness through our muscles, through our minds. Visualizing all those physical parts of us relaxing, the muscles, the joints. Visualizing our mind, the thoughts that keep us too anxious. Just visualize those thoughts releasing with the breath. Replacing any negative thinking with a positive thought. Each breath a little deeper, a little slower than the last. Paying attention to where you need to send that breath. Bringing your attention back to your breath and making your way to seated if you choose. Bringing hands to heart center. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace in our thoughts, peace in our words, peace in our heart. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you. I'll see you tonight. Please send me an email if you can, or a message on Instant Messenger, which is through Facebook or whatever. It's only us in this group, so I'll be the only one seeing it. Or go ahead and send me an email and tell me what you're up to. And I will see you tonight. Thank you.